Hey guys, and welcome to episode one of what's going to be a long series that I'm going to do. Well, not a long series, it's going to be a 4 week series of what I'm going to do throughout lockdown. And the aim of this is just to kind of talk about emotions, feelings that come with being put into a second lockdown, and to let you guys know that whatever kind of emotions and feelings you have are normal going into a second lockdown, and just to kind of talk about mine and what I'm going through, and hopefully that can kind of give you some feeling of you're not in this alone and that we are going through this together. And there is going to be days where we feel okay, there's going to be days where we feel crap, and that's fine. And if this can help, just even a couple of people, I'll feel better about myself. I will feel happy that me talking about what I'm feeling has kind of helped you guys and has given you guys a little bit of something. You probably have a laugh along the way. About to say something stupid. About to do something stupid. But also, there is an underlying message of seriousness in this, that you're not alone in this, and I think that's massively important. Don't be scared to reach out to anyone if you're concerned, if you're feeling down. Speak to someone, drop me a message. Don't be scared to admit that you're having a crap day and that you're feeling a little bit down and stuff. That's going to be expected. The first lockdown was hard enough. The 3 months we went through, being told we're going into another one, emotions are going to be all over the place. Don't feel bad about it. Feel that you can speak to someone. If that's me, great. Drop me a message. I'll be happy to speak to anyone about it. If you've got other people, friends, family, don't feel like a burden. Don't feel like you can't speak to someone. Or if you do feel like you can't speak to someone, speak to me. All right, drop me a message. And yeah, I'm just going to talk about throughout this series. I don't know whether I'm going to do them daily. I don't know whether I'm going to do them every couple of days. They might be a bit sporadic. But my aim is to kind of document just what I'm going through over the next 4 weeks. Lockdown starts on Thursday. It's Tuesday now. I'm putting this out before our last day of trading at the gym tomorrow. And like I said, I'll be putting them out every day or every couple of days going forward until lockdown is ended. I'll kind of start by talking about where I'm at the minute. Obviously, we got the news on Saturday that we're getting put into this lockdown. Initial reaction is massively pissed off with the kind of government's decision to close gyms, the leisure and hospitality industry. Gyms are included. It just seems backwards. And when all the research shows that, being fit and healthy is, massively beneficial in beating this virus, that it's affecting overweight people more than those of a healthy BMI. And that gyms can be a very safe place for people to be in. It just seems backwards that gyms have got to close. But for example, garden centres are deemed as essential services and they can remain open. So that, is massively annoying. It's hugely disappointing that the government have came to that decision. But we are doing something about it, guys. There's a massive bunch of us gym owners around the country who are trying to fight this decision, who are trying to get gyms put on the essential list. I've wrote to our local MP. I know a lot of other gyms have done the same to their local MPs. This is getting discussed in Parliament tomorrow, Wednesday, where gyms are going to stand. This might not have any effect on this initial lockdown, this 4 weeks. But if it's got an effect going forward, we've essentially done a good job there. If they decide to extend this lockdown, and gyms will be allowed to open again on the 2nd, when this lockdown's due to end, that's what we're fighting for, to try and get the government to understand. I don't want to quote all the science and stuff like that, but the research showing that the infection rate in gyms is insanely low. The amount of cases have come out of gyms as a result of how many ever visits is tiny. It's absolutely minute. And we've got members who come to our gym who are saying they feel safer in the gym with the measures we've got in place than they do going to the likes of Tesco. This isn't a dig at Tesco, by the way. Any supermarket. That feel safer in a gym like that. The measures we've gone through, and I know other gyms will be in the same situation. The measures that we've gone through to ensure our customers, our members' safety is second to none. To the point where we've had someone who came to the gym, didn't know that they'd had COVID, but it tested positive. They'd been in classes, they'd been in a situation. And the way we've got our floor laid out, customers are always at least 2.5 meters away from anyone next to them. We didn't have to, but we felt it was our duty of care to let people know who were in the spaces around this member in the gym that they might have been in contact with someone. Some of those members decided to go and get tested, and they all came back as negative. So we know that the procedures we've got in place at the gym can actually allow someone to be next to someone for an hour, not next to them, but in an area near them on a floor, and that they won't contract the virus. What more can the government ask than that? That, you can be next to someone for an hour and not contract the virus because of the measures we've got in place. But you can go to Tesco, or you can go and buy some plant pots at the local garden centre. It doesn't make sense. It's massively annoying that this is the decision that the government have came to. But like I said, we are trying to fight that. So that was initial kind of reaction on Saturday when we found out that news. But prior to that, it was great to come out of that first lockdown and get the gym doors open. But the reality is that the last 18, 20 weeks, I don't know exactly how long it's been, of the gym being open is actually been, for a gym owner, business owner, the most stressful time I've had in my career. You kind of put on this you put on this front, I guess, when you're at work, this happy, everything's great, we're doing really well. And it's quite easy to do when you're surrounded by a bunch of members who are so happy that the gym's open and are doing really well, and they just want to get back to the training. You can see them progressing, and people are getting back to fitness and strength of pre-lockdown. And it's awesome to see. But the reality is that the stress levels business owners and gym owners are going through at the minute is through the roof. The last 3 or 4 weeks, I've felt just absolutely burnt out, both physically and mentally. It's been the hardest time of my career, of my life, of running the gym. Trying to kind of ensure that all these measures are in place and that everyone's adhering to them. We've got over 200 members, and we've got a duty of care to these members, and nothing's more important than that. But it's come at a massive cost to myself. I know Ian's kind of feeling the same. It's just, we're massively fatigued of the situation. I'm sure we're not alone, and I'm sure a lot of gym owners out there can kind of relate to this. It's not just a massive financial cost that we've had kind of coming out of lockdown, investing in all the PPE and stuff like that, but the kind of stress levels that come with it have been huge. It's something that we never ever thought we'd kind of have to deal with, I guess. Someone's trying to ring us. I'll just decline that. It's something we never we thought we'd have to deal with. Trying to kind of protect over 200 members of from this pandemic that we're in. But it's something we've kind of hit the ground running with, and we can kind of hold our hands and say, we're doing the best we can, and we know we're doing a great job, and a better job than other areas to other industries. So it's sad that we've got to close. It's it's massively sad. But the impact that trying to stay open through this pandemic has been huge. Like I said, physically, mentally, massively draining, to the point where I'm coming home on a night, and bless, Jen's wanting to talk about the day. She's been working from home throughout this. I'm at work for 8, 9, 10, 12 hours some days. I come home, she just wants to talk and ask about my day, and I've just got nothing to say. I'm wiped. I'm like a shell of a person that I'm coming home, I don't want to talk. I just want to sit and not even watch TV, just have the TV on and just switch off, to just eat and go to sleep. And I feel awful for it, and I feel so bad to her that, she looks forward to me coming home and to be able to chat to us, and that I'm kind of not giving her anything. Weekends, if I've got a day off, like I don't want to do anything. I'm just wiped. And that's awful to kind of say, and it's quite emotional to admit that I'm in this position. But that's the kind of the sacrifice that business owners, gym owners up and down the country are making, and that we're going through at the minute to try and keep our doors open and fight to do that. It's awful. And the hope is that it's going to be worth it. It's going to pay off in the end. But then being hit with another lockdown it's just been awful. It sucks. It's just a massive kick in the dick, really. There's it sounds stupid. There's kind of not a lot else to say about that. We've done everything we possibly can, and the government deems it's not good enough. But like I said, we are trying to fight it. I'll keep you guys up to date with what happens as a result of that. But a little kind of beg, I guess, guys, to stand by your gym. Not just ours, if you're members of another gym and you're watching this, stand by your gym owners, guys. Like I've just said there, we've sacrificed so much, both financially and mentally and physically, to try and keep our doors open for you guys. We kind of, now's our time to almost ask for your help. I know, you've been so supportive throughout the first lockdown, and it sucks to have to ask for help again. But the reality is that without supportive members, that small independent gyms like ours, like To Be Fit, like other people I know who own gyms, it's a tough time to get through, and it's a scary time, and it's so uncertain. And talking financials for a second, to get through the first lockdown of 3 months for gyms was so hard. For us, I don't know about other gyms. We still had to pay full rent. Our landlords didn't care. Basically, with $3,500 a month rent we pay on units, and $3,500 over 3 months is a lot of money. Do the math. When we don't have a lot of money coming in, or aren't able to earn any money, you can't furlough both myself and Ian. There's only one of us able to furlough. So you try to take the bare minimum salary that you can to exist, to the point where now, going into this lockdown, my car broke down on Friday. I'm not getting it fixed. I've walked to work today. I've walked back to see Lola to record this video. I'm walking back into work this afternoon, and I'll do the same tomorrow, because I don't want to spend money that I know I can kind of ensure is going to keep the gym open. And that's, again, the level of sacrifice we're prepared to make as gym owners to ensure that our doors can open again. I'm not going to need a car through lockdown. If I can walk to work for the next few days, great. I'll get my car fixed at a later time, or sort out that whenever. My priority is now to ensure that I can open the doors of the gym again. And, for anyone out there who can support a small business, because this isn't just the same for gyms. This is up and down the country, small businesses. We don't have the huge backing and funding that, big, huge companies do. The Bannatynes, the JDs, the stuff like that. The gyms that have got millions of pounds in investment, the lockdown isn't going to hit them as hard as these small businesses. We don't have investors. Your membership puts food on our tables. It pays for our cars. It's things like that. It gets us to and from work. Thankfully, I've got some legs, and it's only 4 miles. It was cold this morning, but it was something I did to protect the gym and to protect the business that I've kind of, that me and Ian have worked so hard to build over the last few years. So where you can, guys, shop local, support small businesses. If you can buy fruit and veg from a local shop, buy it from there. Don't get it from Tesco. If you can afford to keep a membership going at a gym that's unfortunately been forced to close, it's not a decision we've made. It's a decision that the government has made. We can't stay open legally. If if you can afford to continue a membership, please do so. Or, if when gyms open, you can bring a friend down, you can recommend the gym to a friend, that is going to mean the world to someone like myself, to another business owner out there. We've got to stick together. We've got to support these small independent businesses, because without these, it's a bleak picture kind of looking forward. Like, if you think about a year's time, I was in Durham the other weekend, and the amount of small independent shops that have sadly had to shut is so upsetting. So where possible, guys, help out any of these small businesses. Look after each other. And like I said, the aim of this series is to talk about, feelings and stuff like that. I'll give updates on the gym and stuff like that as we go. But this was just to talk about the kind of lay the groundwork for future episodes. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Sorry I've kind of waffled on for so long. I'll try and keep the other ones a little bit shorter. But yeah, I will see you on the next episode.